Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Mystic Moon. Welcome to another reading. Today's topic is, why did they walk away from you? So this is going to be for those of you that were in a situation where someone decided that you were romantically interested in and connected to, that they just decided to walk away from this connection with you. It could be that you also just mutually decided to walk away from each other, but we're going to really get their side of things, which is why they walked away and, how you impacted their life and what that's all about. So, and just take what resonates for you at the end of the day and get rid of anything that doesn't. All the decks I'll be using will be listed down below, as well as this beautiful Organite. So we're going to start off with the question, which is, how did you impact your person upon meeting them? But just also in general, how did you impact this person's life? Let's go ahead and get some messages. How did you, the person watching this video, impact this person that walked away from you? How did you impact them? Okay, so we have passionate feelings. They were quickly won over pretty much right from the start. So maybe they saw you, sparks flew, you guys spending time together, it created very passionate feelings within them. There's just this powerful chemistry and passion for sure. So very quickly you won this person over, and they felt very passionate about you even from the very beginning. Okay, so you impacted them on a very passionate level. Maybe they felt something with you they've never felt before. Some intense energy, that's for sure. All right, let's see what else. Ooh, it's Kismet. So there is something here about destiny, right? But there's also something here where you might have some sort of a challenge with this person. It's kind of like you meet them at a time where there's still some pieces of the puzzle of their life that needs to be put together. They kind of don't feel 100% complete when they met you. They either felt like they still had some, more life to live, or but they were still felt very destined to meet you. But I'm getting here, it's like, it's not the right time. And I say this a lot, right person, wrong time. If I turn this card over, it says worth waiting for. So I just feel like there's something about this connection that gets put on hold, right? Where they meet you, they're excited to meet you. There's passionate feelings there. They're quickly won over by you, but it's like, you're a great person, but there's still so many things in my life that I have plans for. There's so many things in my life that I still need to do or want to do. And I don't know that I have 100% time and dedication to give to this completely, even though I feel very passionate for you. So you impacted their lives very dramatically, but still there was some pieces of the puzzle of their life that they felt like they still needed to put together, if that makes sense. All right, let's go ahead and get some more. What other energy was here present when they either met you, or how you are impacting them still? Make an impression. Well, yeah, it's definitely here. You won them over very quickly. You made an impression on them, that's for sure. So this is like a gold energy. So this to me tells me here that they saw you, they connected with you, you made such an impression on them that it's been a lasting impression. That's for damn sure. So how you've impacted them where they're never going to forget you, the type of person that you were. There's something very special about you and the way that you made them feel, and the way that they just kind of felt like they were in this kind of magical whirlwind when the two of you guys met and came together. So they're never going to forget that. That's how you impacted them. They're never going to forget that. They're never going to forget how it was when you guys first met each other and the passion that you felt. We also have get to know someone. There was something about you that was very intriguing to this person, and I feel like you're not the kind of individual that maybe they usually either go for, or you're just totally different. You have a totally different personality than anyone else that they've ever met, and you're very intriguing to them. So they were very excited to get to know you, to get to learn more about you, right? And it might even have been that they were kind of torn, like they really wanted to slow down and get to know you, but they were very attracted to you, so you guys went into this very quickly. But it all happens under the I guess the energy that this individual still was not ready. Whether you guys would have taken it slow, whether you guys would have gone super quick, it doesn't matter. They still weren't ready. You did make an impression on this person, But the thing is, there's something about other karmic lessons or living that needed to be experienced. So right person, wrong time is what I'm seeing here. Yeah. I feel like if they would have been in a point in their life where things were maybe a little bit more calm, they would have really been able to give their dedication to this connection, but something was taking up their time. And I just feel it was the living that they still had to do, if that makes sense. All right, let's go ahead and see what else. What else is present here? What other impact did you make upon meeting them? Yeah, so they're never going to forget you because you're very unique to this person. They don't meet somebody like you every day. We have sorrow. Okay, interesting. The impact that you've made on this person's life is they've definitely thought back on your connection. They have either looked back on a picture, they've looked back on some sort of a text or some sort of communication, and they've actually felt sad about it. So this person has felt sad that you're no longer in their life. They've definitely felt the loss of you. Okay. They may have also hurt you too, which brings them great sorrow. We have seriousness. These are two people that are looking at a ring. It may be that had it been a different time in their life, they may have been serious about taking things all the way with you, going the distance. But the thing is that they just were not ready at that time to do that. And they may have known that you were serious about them, but they knew that they could not be serious about you. It's like they just knew where they were at, which was not at that time on the same level as you. So that gave them great sadness and sorrow to have to kind of break that news to you that it wasn't going to continue, that it wasn't going to move forward here. So we're kind of already going into the why did they ultimately decide to walk away from you in this connection? I'm already getting the answer. They just were not ready and did not want the same things as you did at that time. It was a timing thing. Ooh, we have desert. Somebody could live in the desert, near a desert, but I feel like something has dried up, right? There's like a desert now between the two of you. There's this distance between the two of you. The desert dried up. It was very difficult to survive in these harsh conditions. And so I feel like conditions got very harsh. So this definitely impacted your connection with them. Okay. Maybe even somebody moved away as well. And so even though someone moved away and walked away from this, it doesn't matter. You still made enough of an impression on this person to where they're never going to forget you. Yeah, we have speeding up. So things went really quickly. Things went real fast. I'm feeling for some of you guys, you had a very quick, passionate, all-encompassing beginning with this individual. And as things started to kind of speed up and go very quickly, this person kind of dried the connection up real quick because they knew that they weren't going to be able to give to it in the same way that you were probably going to expect them to give to it. So it's just realizing that two people are on separate pages. All right, let's see how else you impact your person. How else have you impacted their life? I just got I could have had it all with you. Had I just stuck by you, had I just stayed. But instead, life was going too fast. Life in the fast lane. Eagles, right? Is that the Eagles? Life in the fast lane. Yeah. Your person was living life in the fast lane. They were going places. They had a lot of stuff happening here. And they couldn't stay where you were. The song's coming to my mind from Lana Del Rey. Blue Jeans, look it up, listen to it. I feel like Lana Del Rey is speaking of this type of person with this type of personality. So please listen to that song because I feel like that is your connection here. Oh, yeah, Love Potion number 9. That's also a song too, and a movie. But yes, we have enamored. There was this feeling of kind of getting caught up in a whirlwind and being under some sort of spell. So I do feel, you guys, that your person did drink of the potion, your love potion, and they were, I'm not saying they were under a spell, but it was like they were under a spell, and that's just how they felt with you. But like anything, it wore off, and after the high was over, it's like they were kind of off to whatever they needed to do next. But the impact that you left on their life is that they're still under some sort of spell. See, look at this. Yeah, what I could have had, what could have been. Yeah, what could have been. That's it. So they do think back on your past now that things, they're gone, you're gone, the desert is here in between the two of you guys. They do still think about what could have been had they just stayed, had they just slowed down their life in order to stay with you or be with you. But you had big dreams. I do feel like this person, even though they left, they have wanted to reach out, back out to you. They may also be keeping tabs on you online. So if you have social media, or if you're a social media presence, they may know about this and they may watch you online now. Kind of seeing how life's going for you. Seeing what they missed. I'm just getting that too. Your person's looked back and they see what they've missed, because either you moved on with your life or you're just living your life in a certain way. And we have love lyrics, so it's funny because so many songs are coming through. I was saying what could have been so beautiful, what could have been so right. It's an artist named Tiffany. I think she's only had like a couple of hits in the 80s, but yeah, that's the song. So there's a lot of songs too that also kind of take your person back to the days, the times. A lot of things actually remind your person. So how you've impacted them, there's a lot of energy and memory that still remains. Memories remain. Send Her My Love by Journey. I'm just going to spout out all the songs that are coming to me. All right, what else? Yeah, okay. So the Hermit, Virgo's energy, we have solitude. I feel when your person, life has slowed down for them, they have thought back on the impact that you made on their life and what could have been with you for sure. And I feel like there's a lot of things that remind them of you now. And I do also feel like they've been kind of hiding out in their hermit shell, and maybe they kind of closed themselves off to you. But that doesn't mean that they haven't thought about you, and it doesn't mean that they haven't thought about reaching out to you. So I definitely see that there with the social media and messages and the love lyrics. Yeah. The Eight of Cups is somebody who's departed from your life, like they walked away. But I also feel like you could have walked away from this person, and when they departed, you departed as well. You went somewhere, and this made an impact on their life, because in a way it's like they feel like they've lost you forever. Now we have the Eight of Swords. They can't stop thinking about you now. They almost feel trapped. This is a Black Widow, so just the energy of widow. They feel like someone has it's almost like a death. It's almost like a death now. Like you're alive, but the connection between the two of you is not dead, but they almost feel like they've lost something. Almost feel like they're alone in the state of solitude. So I feel like after life slowed down for this person, they really thought about the opportunity that passed them by with you. It's actually, they passed this opportunity by, or they let it pass them by. And we have the Ten of Cups. So that's like a very joyous, happy energy. What could have been for the two of you is a deeply long-term committed relationship, perhaps even marriage. Because we do have some cards here with the ring, and this is a marriage card. I feel like they chose a life of either luxury or a life of living in the fast lane over your connection. But now that fast lane has slowed down, this individual has a lot of regret with what could have been had they just basically taken that opportunity to take that ride, I guess, or that road with you. So that's where your person is at, and this is the impact that you've made on them. The impact that you've made is that you're that one person that they think what could have happened if they had just stayed. So that's pretty significant. All right, now we're going to go into the energy here of why did they ultimately decide to walk away from you in this connection. I feel like it already really came through that one of the reasons that they walked away was because they felt like you were the right person but the wrong time for them. But let's just see what was coming up for them. We have trying too hard. It may be that it was definitely like they were going to have to try very hard in order to make this work. It would have been too much work for them. It was too hard to try to make it work. So they could have just exhausted themselves. I'm getting a 10 of Wands vibe with this one, where somebody just feels very overwhelmed. It's just too hard. It's too hard to stay. It's hard to leave, but it's hard to stay. Why? Because they were unavailable. That's why. This person was unavailable. They just were not available for you in the same way that you were available for them. So I do feel like it actually did bring them great sorrow to admit this to themselves, but also to admit it to you too. We have poverty. It may be that this individual did not want to fail in life. They had some kind of dream that they had to seek out and accomplish some goal. And they didn't want to be down and out. They didn't want to live in harsh conditions. They wanted to better their lives. And that might have required them to travel or to, work around the clock or whatever, which would have ultimately made them unavailable for you anyways. And so I just feel like this person just had other things that they just felt like was taking precedence over your connection. And so it would have been too hard to try to do this and also maintain your connection. Yeah, the King of Embers, you guys, is the King of Wands, and the King of Wands is very ambitious. I just feel like this person had some sort of fire. Yes, they had fire and passion for you, but they also had fire and passion for something else. It's their purpose, it's their mission, it's their gift. Yeah, some kind of a gift that they have. Maybe they're artistic or a creator or something, and they have something to share with the world. So they felt compelled. They really did. They felt compelled on a soul level that they had to go in this direction and away from your connection. So I don't feel like it was that you weren't good enough for them or that you weren't interesting enough. I think all of those elements were there. It's just that this person had something else that was also compelling them. It's almost like their soul felt like they were destined to go down a certain path, and that destiny was basically going to end it with you. But I feel like now that it's all kind of said, done, and over with, and maybe they finally got to that goal or that destination, they are now thinking in terms of maybe it wasn't all it was cracked up to be, or wow, you know what, I'm at the top, but it's lonely at the top, and now they're thinking about you. So that's what I'm seeing for your individual, for sure. All right, let's see why else they decided to walk away. I feel like they felt compelled on a soul level to go in a different direction. I do. A nice fantasy. Yeah, it's kind of like it was nice while it lasted. It really was. And I felt that for you guys. I felt like you guys both got really carried, like swept away, not carried away, but swept away. And this like beautiful whirlwind romance, this passionate affair, just this very fiery energy. I feel that it compelled you both, but I just feel ultimately what ended up kind of winning at the end of the day was this person and what they felt compelled to do outside of your connection. So it was nice while it lasted. Yeah, it was nice. But they kind of felt like maybe it wasn't realistic. Yeah, your person, I feel at that particular time was very much in like maybe a state where they were looking at things in a superficial way, kind of skin deep, right? Somewhat shallow. Maybe they were just thinking of finances. They were thinking of, things that would materially make them happy or fulfill them. But, sometimes you don't know that money, I mean, yes, it's great. It's really great. I'm not going to lie. When you have a lot of it and you can just blow it and pretty much buy whatever you want, that's a wonderful feeling. But the thing is, it gets old, it gets boring, it gets lonely, and things lose its luster. And then when you don't have it, it's just like you wish you had it. So I feel like being somewhere just kind of right in the middle is the nice sweet spot in life, really. You also appreciate more and you try harder when things aren't so easy and you don't have, everything at your fingertips. And so I just feel like this individual, their drive, they felt compelled to have a lot. They felt compelled to just make it to the top and maybe have all of this money and have all these nice cars and nice clothes or, things around them. But it was only skin deep though, unfortunately. So I feel like that's where this person ended up. They ended up in a place where it was like it wasn't all it was cracked up to be. And that's why they're now thinking back on your connection and thinking back on what could have been with you, because now that they finally went down that path and learned that lesson, now they get it. But they wouldn't have gotten it, you guys, had they not gone down that path. So It's a nice thought to say, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but guess what? You had to do it in order to get to where you're at today. Yeah, so we have false person. So you guys, I do feel like this individual, because it does say somebody who's fake, false person, right? I'm not seeing that they were like purposely being fake, but I do feel like they were kind of playing a role. They were playing a role with you in that moment and got caught up with you. But in some way, it's kind of like they knew at the end of the day that they were not going to be able to stay. So you may have felt used. You may have felt very hurt by this person when they decided to walk away from your life. Kind of like, wow, okay, so I meant nothing to you sort of thing. And I do feel like they were disguising some things about themselves and not being 100% in order to spend time with you, even though they knew that they weren't going to be able to actually like invest and stay long term with you. So it was the selfish thing to do. It was selfish for sure. But that's just what I'm seeing here. There were a lot of things that were disguised as success. Maybe even their higher self was warning them that this isn't going to make you happy if you go down this path, but they had to go down it anyways and figure it out for themselves. Yeah. They might have also been manipulated by other people, their peers, their parents, their friends, people that basically wanted to see them have a certain life. I do feel like this individual was influenced by those around them too. We do have the King of Souls. The King of Cups is somebody who actually has to learn on a soul level, what life is all about by making mistakes. And I do feel like the only way that you're going to act honorable or with integrity is if you are a false person doing some really shitty things in your life at one point in time or another. The only way that you're actually going to know what it is to be a good person is if you've been a kind of a bad person. The only way to actually really embrace your light side is to also meet your shadow side. And I feel like this individual went through a dark night of the soul with the King of Souls. This is Scorpio's energy. This is rebirth, death and rebirth, death of the ego. I feel like this is all ego here. Your person was very much in their ego when they were with you. And it wasn't only until they got to their destination where they realized on a soul level what it really all meant and what they had to do to get there. So only now can this individual see things from a whole new light. All right. So why did they ultimately decide to walk away from you? This connection, they felt compelled to, but it was also part of their karma and their ascension. They thought money and superficial things were going to make them happy, but it turns out it didn't. We have silent treatment. I feel like maybe you and this individual have not spoken whatsoever. You've never heard from them again. Maybe you've decided, hey, I'm not going to reach out to them. And all of a sudden, it's just like you just don't know. You don't know what's happening. You don't know how they feel. You don't know what's going on. So they ultimately decided to just stop talking to you, maybe even ghost you. And it felt really, really cruel, of course. We have invading. I feel like this individual has looked back. And they may not be telling you, okay? They may not be telling you that they have regrets. And it could be one of the reasons is because they had too big of an ego to admit to you that they were wrong. I just got that. That to me looks like a rear view mirror. Somebody's looking back in the rear view mirror. They're looking back what they left behind. And they're still giving you the silent treatment. They've never told you this, but they don't want to violate you and trespass into your world since they left your world. It's like they have no right to come back. I just got from your person. I have no right to come back after leaving you in the dust or kind of leaving you the way that I did. I have no right to come back. Yeah. So this person is thinking more with empathy than they did in the past. Yeah, they're looking in the mirror. They see themselves differently. Their point of view has changed, okay? So the only way that they were going to be able to see themselves differently and to change their viewpoint and to change their state of mind is to go through what they went through. So they ultimately had to go down this road. It was fated for them, and it was also fated for your connection, you guys. That's what I'm seeing, okay? So let's get one last card here and see what else. We We have the Three of Pentacles. Believe it or not, this is something that you got. This is a contract. This is something you guys both signed up for. You guys both signed up to meet each other at a point in your lives where someone wasn't ready, and you guys were going to learn so much about each other in separation. So I definitely feel like you guys have both had time to reflect on yourselves and what's happened through this separation and this individual walking away. So yeah, this synergy means like both people are coming together. There's something that's created together, and that was the soul contract. So why did they ultimately decide to walk away? Obviously, we know for ascension purposes, but it was also for your ascension purposes, and it was because your contract deemed it so. So that's what I have for you guys so far. If you'd like to join me over for some more deeper meanings as well as messages here, we're going to go over onto the extended. How has your person's mind changed about you since the last time you've spoken to each other? And then we're going to see, what do they want to see play out between the two of you now moving forward? And what is their most likely words and actions going to be in the near future? So if you'd like to join me, I'll put that link down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. You take care. Bye-bye.